On his return, Americans showed their gratitude. In General Pershing's words, it didn't hurt America to have a general so bold that he was dangerous. Los Angeles went all out in its reception. With him was General Doolittle, whose 8th Air Force in Europe did so much to assure final victory.
Although no unit, no individual won the war, we're fortunate in having one here tonight with us who had a large part in winning the war. I'm pleased and proud to have been privileged to fight by the side of General George Patton.
Your Honor, the Mayor, General Doolittle, soldiers, ladies and gentlemen, coming over here, there was a very great lesson. The first 4 hours, we passed over a destroyed land, utterly destroyed. You who have not seen it do not know what hell looks like from the top. That's what Germany looks like. That's what Austria looks like. That's what any place that the 8th Air Force and the 3rd Army worked on looks like. You must remember this, that from Brest to various towns in southern Germany and Austria, whose names I can't pronounce, but whose places I have removed, the trail of the 3rd Army and the 19th Tactical Air Command and the 8th Air Force is marked by more than 40,000 white crosses, 40,000 dead Americans.
Few realized how deeply he felt about his men.
Moral relativity. In World War II, we look at Doolittle, we look at the 8th Air Force, the Army Air Corps completely destroyed Europe. It was a destroyed land. Watch Patton's speech in Los Angeles right after World War II, before he got smoked. The sentiment of the Americans of our air campaign in Europe in World War II was very much different than it is today. We have moral relativity. You see, when it's your house that gets overrun by invaders, destroy the whole continent, firebomb cities. I mean, look at what happened to Hamburg and Berlin and all the cities in France, Belgium, all across Germany. Patton was commenting when he flew over the land, he says, is what hell looks like. And it was all wrong when he flew over some of the peaceful lands on his way home, because the train stations were still in order. There was the entire, every square inch of the ground was not a crater. And we look with nostalgia on World War II history and what our guys had to do to win that damn war. And we look fondly upon that with fond memories. War heroes, Band of Brothers, Saving Private Ryan. They play the solemn, World War II veteran music, and everyone kind of gets a tear in their eye. But see, when that shit happens today, you're not allowed to. You have to call ahead with a phone number and warn everybody. And then if you drop a bomb in a war and it kills the bad guys, then you have to apologize every time. See, or you go to jail, like on GWAT, right? You're fighting the enemy. You're told to kill the enemy, but then when you kill him, the Marines go to jail. Or when the Navy SEAL actually, is a warrior, then they throw him in jail too, see? Moral relativity is ridiculous. The hell? Wasn't that long ago with World War II. Do you guys know who Curtis LeMay is? Or was? Curtis LeMay? He became a parody after World War II and after Korea. And in Vietnam, he was still doing his thing. Winning a war is not hard if you want to play by the rules of war. The lefties try to superimpose their rules, their satanic rules, tit for tat with evil, on the good guys. That way evil hangs around forever. Moral relativity. You see, the lefties don't mind killing 3,000 infants per day, every day, for 50 years straight in their countries. But then when you are fighting a war, they'll cry a river. So you guys want to know my opinion on all this stuff, don't you? I was so proud of Patreon. For those of you that are on Patreon, this one will be posting to YouTube. Not one person on Patreon checking my messages since last weekend, because I was out doing Sukkot actually last weekend. We drove across the country. And since all this stuff happened, not one person asked me what I think. You know what that means to me? It means to me you guys are listening to the training. You're not absorbed by the propaganda of the rectangle of death. You already know the rules. You already know what to do. You don't have to get ready. You are ready. You are ready. It's funny, I showed up there for the last day, the 8th day of Sukkot, by the way, which is a party the apostles did and Jesus did, you know. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know what tribe Jesus comes from, by the way? Yeshua? Anyone ever think of that? So we're going and partying like an apostle would, right? Or did. And my guys and my brothers do not walk around with an iPhone in their face all day. We got there with zero idea of what was going on in the world. But guess what I had right next to me the whole time? A rifle. Guess what I had in my pocket? Means of defense. I have carried a rifle with me every day since I was 16 years old. Right next to me when I'm traveling. Every day since I was 16 years old. People always gave me shit. They gave me shit when the Columbine thing happened. Why would you need it? Where do you think there's going to be a problem? No. They can kiss my ass. They gave me shit when it was like I go down and do the training classes, right? Like, wow, what do you think you need a rifle? What do you think you're Rambo? What would you ever need that for? I don't know what you ever need a fire extinguisher for. And then Las Vegas happens. What would you ever need a rifle for, Rex? What are you just going to keep in the car? Isn't a pistol going to get it done? And even one of my bros on the way to Sukkot, kind of smarty pants, mentions I grabbed the M4 because we switched vehicles. I grab it out of the one and put it next to the seat right in front with the mags, right? Was that zombies? And I'm like, just look at him like, dude, you know me for 10 years, man. Why are God's people commanded not to be helpless? So you don't have to stress out all the time. You don't have to watch the doom scrolling stuff. So we got to Sukkot. We did Sukkot all day. Nobody mentioned anything because there was no cell phone service. Get back into the world after that deal. And I still don't even know. I haven't even talked to my brothers about the current global jihad against us since then. Wouldn't you think we'd be freaking out by now? Oh man, we got to get together, people. We're going to have to prepare. We didn't even have to say one word. I noticed finally that 3 or 4 of my brothers who I love finally mentioned it. After a week, because it's not relevant to his people that are super prepared for it. Now, do you want to know my opinion on the situation over there? Hey man, I'm not a 5-star general. Ask someone who lives there. I'll tell you some principles. First off, you have to define what Israel is. Okay? Before you get all emotional, hating Israel. Israel is God's people. You can be grafted in or you can be cut off. Another major principle is nothing happens without the Almighty's permission. And all throughout the Bible, you will see how when they're super tight with the Almighty, He 100% protects them. Where they have a falling away, He 100% lets them go through their troublous times. That being said, if I was the Prime Minister of Israel, and that happened on my watch, and they thought it was funny when even the women of the whole, they take all these kidnap victims, they put little kids in cages and they light them on fire while the women are dancing and passing out candy. See, they don't show that on mainstream news, do they? When the entire nation, 99+% of the population is celebrating murder and torture, and that's like their thing that they live to do. Plus, you have the biblical backing to defend yourself preemptively from guys that want to destroy you. Plus, you have a commission in the Bible, which nobody reads. Nobody reads the Bible. You just quote what sounds like it would be in the Bible. Well, that's not loving. Excuse me, let the Bible define what is loving. Sometimes love is an extremely sharp sword. They were commanded to do what with the land? First off, they have to be clean themselves. You're not just special automatically. You have to keep yourselves clean. Yeshua said, hey, I can make even these rocks into the sons of Abraham. It's what you do. Are you living up to that role? That's first off. But second off, they were commanded to clean the land. And what happens when you don't clean the land because you're trying to play lefty general nice guy all the time? Is it nice to play nice with the enemy? How come we're allowed to carpet bomb all of Europe with everyone in all the cities were the target? When they strategic, do you know what strategic bombing is? It's not tactically targeted. It's not you. Strategic bombing is when they bomb everything to destroy the entire enemy, including the entire support infrastructure, which is everything. World War II, we clap our hands. On this one, we go, oh no, it's not allowed. So you guys are trying to figure me out, aren't you? Well, what are you, pro-Israel or anti-Israel? Because I'm for them carpet bombing and then bulldozing the rubble into the ocean. Curtis LeMay, man, if you're going to have a war, have a fucking war. Get it done. Get it done. If you're going to have one, it's more nice just to get it done once and for all. But at the same time, well then, Rex, how come you're talking critically about Israel? Nobody even knows what that word means. Was it an intelligence failure? Are you kidding me, man? Mossad and the Israeli intelligence basically has access to every intelligence agency on the top or above the top levels on the earth. You know how old that is? Where's that word come from? Mossad. They don't need America's help, by the way. They would just like it because it's all political shit. Did you hear what I said? It's all political shit. It's basically their 9/11, which with all the conspiratorial connotations would be true. Do I think it's like Pearl Harbor and they knew it was coming? Absolutely. Do I also think that even though that's what they did, some shady shit, just like we did on 9/11, I saw his video as well. This morning, he finally had to mention it because people were mentioning it, right? People go off a cliff. Agrees with me on that one. 100%. It's funny, all your brothers you don't even talk to on the issue. When your common operating system is based on the Bible, sola scriptura, you don't even need to synchronize with them or share opinions because you find out a week later they're exactly quoting. It's like a psychic reading your mind. Just like I have brothers across the world that are exactly on the same page. These are principles, biblical principles. Yes, I'm for Israel absolutely defending themselves. Am I pro-Israel? Yes. Am I pro-Israel being better at their job? Yes. Am I pro-America? Yes. Am I pro-America suffering its folly of its stupidity? Yes. Why? Because I love it. Rex, do you like your son or not? I love my son. Well, Rex, why would you allow him to go through hard times and punish him? Because I love him. Our Father allows us to go through our shit because we don't listen. And you can shift blame all you want. We deserve what we get. Everyone's emoting. No, it's terrible what you do to kids. What they did to kids. And it's terrible what happens in a war after that. If you're not did you know that all those horrific times in the Bible that came upon the land of Israel were for love of Israel? Do you have the relationship straightened out with the Most High? Did you miss that part? He allowed frickin' the Persians and the Greeks and the Romans to absolutely trample them to the earth. And yes, in the latter times, you see what happened in the last 100 years. Everything that happens, he allows. Am I all pious sitting here? My shit don't stink? No. We all need to continuously repent. That's the lesson. The devil's trying to get you spun up into political shit. It ain't about politics. It's about repentance and obedience. And yes, also following the law, which is what? To not allow the enemy in your gates. These are biblical rules. No, the opinion set being presented here will not match any pre-established template except the Bible. Well, are you for Israel or against it? Sometimes if you're for something, you have to be for what happens. And yes, I'm for Israel defending themselves against these. Why didn't they do it? They would have had total justification to go Curtis LeMay or Doolittle on that place before this shit happened. They would have had full justification to hammer it into oblivion worse than what we did to Tokyo and Japan and Hiroshima and Nagasaki. How come America's not evil for doing it? How come we hold them to standards we don't hold ourselves to? Otherwise, go to the nursing home, find some old guy who flew B-17s and just slap him and say, "How dare you, sir? How dare you just drop bombs on cities? Hey, I was trying to win a damn war for our survival, man." At the same time, see, this is Babylon. Its confusion is such a mess. The same time was World War II a just war? I'm all for the United States winning World War II, but who started the damn war in the first place? Did we fund Hitler's rise to power on purpose politically as part of a plan for 3 world wars? Yes. Are we in World War III now? Yeah. We are in World War III now. Am I upset or excited? It's written down. This is the plan for a long time. Even the secular guys know this. At some point, Jerusalem will be overrun. This is in Ezekiel. And I mean, there's so many other scriptures that intersect the same spot in time. The women will be rifled in the streets. It tells us all this stuff will happen. She'll almost completely be obliterated. The Almighty will then fight for her. You see, they have the secret weapon. They just don't know it. They forget. They have the secret weapon. They have a relationship with the Most High, just like his other children do that are grafted into the vine abroad throughout the earth. You guys have access to the secret weapon. As soon as we realize it ain't about our chariots, read all the biblical verses about not trusting in our damn chariots or the might of our army. When 9/11 happened, man, everyone waved the flag of like, our army's so strong, literally fulfilling the prophecies of doing the wrong shit, where God tells us don't lean on your armies like Pharaoh does. Don't seek the protection of Pharaoh, seek my protection and I'll protect you. He destroyed the Egyptian army with the Red Sea. They didn't have to do shit. They have a secret weapon. It's called repentance and relationship and proximity to the Father. You get close to the Father, he will protect you. I have friends in Israel that are getting really busy right now. So I understand. And I think it's terrible what happened and warrants a response, a much awaited. Again, they should have done this a long time ago. 1948, 1949. Before it was a problem. It's more merciful to stop the crime before it happens with the strong hand than it is to wait until it piles up like this, see? Are you guys worried about the day of, what do they call it? Operation Alaska Flood? I actually was at Alaska Mosque. I know exactly what that means, the Alaska Flood. I'll talk about that on Patreon. That's coming tomorrow. Are you guys worried about the Alaska Flood? I'm not super worried about it. I do know what it is. You don't need to be worried about it. Should you take precautions? Yes, but if you already have precautions every day taken, then you just keep doing what you're doing. That's why no one had to contact me. Nobody, out of the thousands of guys on my Patreon page, nobody said, Rex, what are we going to do about the great day? The flood is coming tomorrow. They already know what to do. They already know they have food and they have water and they on alert, and you have your head on a swivel and you separate yourself, you get off the X, you send this the access. They already know all the stuff. So the moral of the story here is, if you're prepared, you don't need to be scared. If you have the secret weapon of the universe right here, there's no reason at all to get flustered or Twitter pated or anything. Make your coffee in the morning. I send my little guy outside to go and take care of the critters. He's 4. Maybe I'll go outside with binoculars today and look to see if there's anything going on around here. There ain't shit going on around here. We have gotten off the X. I'd recommend you guys learn to do the same. Say goodbye to the world. Put it in your rear view mirror. Embrace a survival system greater than the sword. Cleave to the creator of the universe. Be grafted in. Be counted as one of his people. And even when the entire world puts you in their targeting brackets, if you're close to him, there's nothing you can be scared of. Nothing to be afraid of. And I hope that's words of comfort for those of you. You have access to it right now. You can, rather than spending the time emoting, typing defensive or hateful shit in the comments below, you could have used that time to acquire everything I just said. We have to admit, all right, I could do a lot better. I'm going to focus and vertically align to Papa all day, and then today I'll be protected. And then tomorrow when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to remind myself, can do, hear, O Israel, who is that? Yah is one. And you shall love him with all your heart, all your might, all your strength. Love your neighbors yourself. You do that every day and every night, you know what's going to happen? You're not going to worry about the freaking news. Man, they're pouring it on thick, man. They are pouring it on real thick, aren't they? Does not remind you of something? You know when 9/11 happened, I didn't say one damn word about it to anybody for like 5 years. I just listened and watched and did my things. I didn't say one word. I participated in the cycle of horror 0 times. Because I'm an observer. I'm a patient observer. I like to make precision shots from long range on issues. Don't just fire from the hip, man. It's not my style, right? But there's one thing you'll smell and notice when you're calm and collected in a position of safety behind the glass, looking through the crystal. From a safe distance, you can see the bullshit. And I'm like, yeah, something's going on with this whole deal. And sure as hell, it was revealed all the shady business that happened to get us into GWAD. And guess what? They ran out of steam. They want to do it again. Surprise, surprise. Now there's one over there, which is part of the plan. It's always been part of the plan. It's not a surprise to any of us. It's not a surprise. This is written 3,000 years ago. Not a surprise. If it's a surprise to you, come join us. Be in fellowship with guys that were not surprised. If you're in fellowship with people that are just like, if you're around people that are so oblivious, they're surprised all the time when this kind of shit happens, then you're hanging around the wrong crowd, man. You need to hang out with people that are not surprised when it happens. Again, me and my bros did not even have to talk to each other for a whole week when we were the ones in the crosshairs, literally doing the 8th day celebration. As the 8th day celebration was targeted, we didn't have to say one damn word, even when it was happening over there. Even though there's a global attack going on right now on it. They just were more alert a little bit. That's all that happened. No, we let our little ones play. They had a great time. The kids did not even know the shit was going down. Why? Because it wasn't a surprise. It's always been expected. It's been warned for 3,000 years. And we know the patterns repeat. And men take their responsibility to defend their families. Even if you get insulted, Rex, why would you need a rifle with you all the time? Yeah, okay. Why would you need a fire extinguisher with you? Why would you need a tourniquet with you? Where you think you're going to bleed? Why would you need a first aid kit when you think you're going to get a sliver? Why would you need deodorant? Do you think you're going to stink? Come on, man. So, there's my commentary, for those that must have it. For those of you that are just jonesing, because I can detect it. Oh, God, Rex, help! What do you think's going on? I think you need to put your damn phone down on that stuff and just know our God is God. Right? Was before a couple weeks ago, was after, he was the whole time. Nothing to be scared of if you're with him and you're doing what he commanded you to do. And if you're not with him and doing what you're commanded to do, then you'll have to play catch up later. Then you have to have a huge damn war. And if you're going to do the war, do it the way he told you to do it. Win the war. Whatever it takes. It's biblical. And with that, I bid you farewell. Rex out.